excellent tour. Me and my family were trying to search an experience in Lima about the natives of Peru. At first we were struggling because the only place that we could find out was the Huaca Pucillana, but then, we found this tour at $40. In summary, our guide Patrick transfers us to Pachacamac Museum and Ruins. In the museum he told us the history and showed us the artifacts of these cultures. In the ruins he mostly talked about the architecture and how these old Peruvians cultures lived, all of this in a lapse of 1.5 hours. Good. The historical value of Pachacamac, the cost of the tour that it was $40, the fact that it was a small group, just 2 families, and Patrick was a very knowledgeable guy in Peruvian history and culture. Bad, there were just only one problem: you can't enter to the ruins. This was because in the past people of the zone graffitied the zone. If you want an experience that is more about the historical value and less about breathtaking photos, this is an excellent tour to know about the history of Peru. Remember, bring a cap and a bottle of water because it is a desertic zone. Our guide Saul picked us up where the cruise shuttle bus dropped us off. He was friendly and professional, and above all, he was extremely knowledgeable about everything on the entire tour. Any question we asked him, he knew the answer. One of the most impressive things was that when we toured the museum, he didn't just give us time to explore on our own. He was with us every step of the way, taking us through the museum and through the ruins as well, and even up to the Temple of the Sol. The Peruvian hacienda was very impressive, and we were excited to be able to ride one of the show horses. It was a great tour, but he made it better by his commentary and knowledge. Also, David was an excellent driver, getting us through the traffic of the city very well. I would highly recommend this tour and especially this guide. Saul picked up our group of 8 at the Lima cruise ship terminal in a comfortable van and provided a wonderful and interesting tour. We went to Pachacamac first and he did an excellent job of explaining the history of the temples and answering all of our questions. He was also very patient with anyone with mobility issues. Next we went to beautiful Hacienda Ficus for an outstanding demonstration of Peruvian Paso horses followed by a delicious lunch. We even got to take a short ride on one of these magnificent horses. He was conscientious about getting us back to the ship terminal with time to spare. I highly recommend Inca Trilogy Tours and Saul specifically for a well-organized, fun tour. The museum tour and glimpse of the pyramids was very interesting. I enjoyed learning the history and getting a better understanding of the people and the culture. The lunch show was my favorite part. They had a pretty decent variety in the buffet. The dance breaks and the horse show was very entertaining. The only complaint was that they have items for sale next to the plates and do not label it as a sale item. It looks like cloth napkins and since it is next to the plates, we grabbed one with the plate. We were informed after use that we now had to purchase them. I thoroughly enjoyed this new experience. I love learning about the history of different countries, and our guide, Patrick, was incredibly engaging as he explained each part of the tour. He varied his tone of voice and even spoke in Quechua at one point to describe the rituals performed by the gods. The constant switching between English and Spanish also allowed me to interact with people from other countries, like England. All of this made the experience absolutely fantastic. A very interesting tour thanks to our guide, Patrick, who, with his enthusiasm, experience, and friendly approach, immersed us in the history of Pachacamac. An easy tour, even for families, without much walking, the bus was comfortable, and everything was on time. I recommend this tour to everyone, as it allows you to gain a first-hand understanding not only of the pre-Inca and Inca culture but also of one of the most important archaeological sites in the Lima area.